Okay, I guess, yeah, we're rolling. So, welcome to it. First episode of Catch My Thrift. It is going to be an audio only episode simply because, damn. Well, I guess since this is my podcast, I can be a little more lax in the way that I speak because that's one of my. Okay, we'll get to that. So yeah, the reason why this is going to be an audio only segment is because I would like to take this opportunity this opportunity to introduce myself and give you guys give you guys also the same opportunity to be able to discern whether or not you want to even give my opinions at the time of day. Okay. But obviously in future, as I have promised in the bio, which I assume you've taken the time to read, in future these episodes will also have a visual aspect to them. So I'm going to aim for 10 minutes and I'm already over. This intro is supposed to be 1 minute and then 3 minutes for 3 sections. I like doing my things. I like operating in 3s, 6s, and 9s. We'll get to that as well. And so I have 3 topics: who I am, what I want, and I suppose how I get it. Because best believe I get it. Okay, so who I am. I call myself Uncool Ant. That's a name that I gave myself, I suppose. But none of my names really are names that I gave myself, in a sense that Ant is a name that I got as a nickname in high school, and the full version of it was Ant Life. And obviously it was a nickname that I got because I was skinny, and it was derogatory almost, if that's the right word to use. It was a nickname that was used to bully me, but I adopted it and made it my own. Uncool, which I love to mention, because I've always felt that I was uncool, and I've always felt as if though I had to do something to fit in and do something to be cool. That resonates with me. But the uncool part actually comes from a 5-year-old that I live with at the moment now in Cape Town, and he can't say uncle properly. He's got a bit of a speech impediment, so he says uncle instead of uncle. So it's actually Uncle Ant. That's how it's pronounced, or rather should be pronounced. But yeah, Uncool Ant. And my real name, Khololo Tebogo Khosing. I very rarely tell people about the Tebogo part, mostly because that's a name my father gave me, and I don't feel some type of way about it, but I guess I do because I choose not to include it. Khololo is what I want to actually touch on. I've grown up. I was lucky enough growing up. I was lucky enough to go to very good schools in affluent neighborhoods because my mother worked hard and prioritized education. And as you can imagine, having a triple barrel name, Khololo Khosing, very few. Let's just say very few. I'd like to say none, but very few people. People who don't speak native languages. In fact, even a lot of like Zulu people and Xhosa people, a lot of them will struggle with my name and the pronunciation of it. Personally, I feel as if though only my mother and my immediate family pronounce it properly where I feel it. Like, whoa, that's me. Somebody's calling my name. Everybody else, it's always kind of off. So growing up, I've gotten all kinds of variations of it, of your Kogololos, your Kogololos, your Shongololos, your Kololos. So when I got Ant and I could introduce myself as Ant, and it was simpler for me, and there was a lot less explaining, and there was a lot less of, no, that's not how you say it. No, it has to come from the chest. Yeah. So I've now come to an understanding of my name being somewhat sacred to me, in a sense that if you can't even say it properly, I'm not even gonna give you the opportunity. I'm not even gonna, let you even know what it is. Like, you can say Ant. And Ant is me in its own capacity, in all of its own capacity. It is a full identity that I have taken time into molding and manipulating, and I adorn with pride. But my true essence of who I really am, of where I come from, the name that was bestowed upon me from birth, I feel like you have to work a little bit harder to get that. I feel now I feel as if though it's not just for any old Tom, Dick and Harry that I meet off the street, because I've chosen a profession where I'm gonna meet a lot of Tom, Dick and Harrys off the street. So yeah, the name means release if you were to, it's Tswana. I believe my mother somewhat came up with it because I've met many Khololo Sekho. I have never ever met another Khololo. I have not. And the vast majority of the people that know me as Khololo also have not met another Khololo. I'm not claiming to be the only one with the name, but I'm yet to meet someone with it. That being said, it means release. In Zulu, it can be likened to Nkululeko. I like to think it means freedom. And that is what my mother told me every time I asked her about what my name means. It means freedom. The reason why I like to think that is because I think it's important and we should pay a lot of mind into the names that we choose to give. I think this whole podcast might be just about my name. Wow. I think we should be very mindful of the names that we choose to bestow on the souls that we are ushering into the world. As parents, we are ushers. As human beings, we have the privilege of being able to usher other human beings into the world, into a worldly experience, into an experience of life. And the name that we bestow upon them, I think, plays a vital role and a pivotal role because it to an extent, it really does shape you as a person. A lot of people, I think, whether it may be intentional or unintentional, do live up to their name. So I think it's something that should be intentional. And I thoroughly embody the name Khololo, so much so that it was a problem for the vast majority of my earlier life. I embodied the concept of freedom so much that it became something that translated to a rebellion against authority of all kinds. That's the best way I can put it. Just an outright rebellion. So much. You could say I was in my freedom fighter era. I was in my revolutionary era. But now it's come as I'm now that I am further along on my journey to mastery, self-mastery. It's come to my attention and it's become a deep realization to me that I truly embody the name in the essence that it's my aura. It is the one thing that I would like to be remembered for most. The fact that I embodied a sense of freedom. I gave people an opportunity to feel as if though they could be free. And that's quite literally what I do. I really do it very well. Some might say I do it like breathing. Yes, autonomously. That's the word I was looking for. Autonomously. Yes, this whole podcast is going to be just about my name. Wow. So I feel like we should safeguard our names and we should take greater care in the names that we choose to use for ourselves firstly and for other people, especially our loved ones. Because there's a lot of power to it. There's a lot of power in a label. There's a lot of identity. There's a lot behind the name. And it's not something that you should be treated or should be treated lightly, is the point that I'm trying to make. I feel like I have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. So I'm going to conclude this first episode. I think I'll then do 3 episodes of 10 minutes of an introduction. And then the 4th episode will then be, wow, I'm wasting even more time. So the name, my name is Khololo Tebogo Khosing. Khosing, if I'm not mistaken, if I was not lied to, means royalty, and I like that a lot. And my stage name is Uncool Ant, and yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I hope you like what I have in store for you, because my oh my, do I have a lot in store for you. Welcome to it. This is Catch My Thrift, hosted by Uncool Ant, and sometimes at Wendy's Vintage Clothing. Thanks.